watch?
Sonic.
Sonic
2, yeah. Because Sonic 1's on Amazon Prime, but Sonic 2's not anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless Jason just buys it, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Share your information with me.
I gotta know my information. I set that thing up like a while ago, and then
that's your newest streaming platform. Get out of here.
Yeah, but if he's anything like me, he's got a password that he uses, but like vague variations on it for everyone.
Oh, I understand the struggle. But I need to watch it.
You've probably forgotten more passwords.
You know it.
I was of the meme that's like, oh, enter in the password, incorrect password, reset password, types in a new password. New password can't be old password. What?
Holy shit!
I've had that happen a couple times.
Definitely.
I turn into Bernard in the middle of fucking the first episode of Black Books, just screaming at the desk. What?
Welcome to another Banta Bros Goes to the Movies episode. Tonight we are going to be talking about Thor Ragnarok. This is the third installment of Thor. So far we've had 3 Iron Mans, and we've had basically 3 Captain Americas.
Yep.
Although it wasn't Captain America 3, it was Captain America Civil War.
We had 2.5 Captain Americas and 2.5 Avengers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this is the third installment of Thor. So yeah, let's dive into it.
Yeah.
Aram, take her away.
All right. Thor Ragnarok was released in 2017. It scored... Metascore gives it a 74, and IMDb coins it at 7.9 stars out of 10.
You feel that's appropriate?
I thought it'd be in the 90s.
I thought it would have achieved higher, to be completely honest, but...
What did people expect?
I have to agree. Like, I personally think it should have been higher.
Yeah.
This probably... to me, is probably the best Thor movie.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, hands down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Through scope, I mean, just in general, like I think it's the best emotionally, action-wise. Yeah, the fight scenes might be a little lacking comparatively to the other ones, but
yeah, but the jokes and
I was saying the rest of the content makes up.
It's so much fun.
It's very like this.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think that's the difference is like the fight scenes are a little lacking, but there's more content around it.
Yeah, it balances out. They don't focus on one thing at a time. It's pretty balanced across the board.
Yeah, for sure.
And with the music choices, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It was directed by Taika Waititi.
TW.
Tim and Jason can't say his name, so they let me do it.
Taika Waititi. I just said that.
Yeah. You can't say it like on command though. Like you have to prepare yourself.
It's TW. Say TW. It's cooler to say TW.
Oh yeah. That's
I don't presume on our relationship
dial.
at this point. That's all. I'm just not presuming that he knows me well enough.
Oh, if I knew, it might be T-Dog. T-Dub.
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 T-Dub, what's up?
So it was Thor Ragnarok was written by Eric Pearson and Craig Kyle. It says and others. So I don't know how many actual writers were involved in this movie. I know we talked about Homecoming had a number of writers.
Yeah. Like a record-breaking large amount.
So yeah, those are the 2 that are listed, and it just says and others.
Well, I know 80% of the dialogue is claimed to be improv, so maybe they're giving them credit. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, this was this is the film that Chris Hemsworth had a lot of improv lines, and you find out that he's actually funny. That was something that TW was saying in several interviews. Like, that dude has funny chops. He's just never given an opportunity until now. So
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe a lot of these guys probably have more like comedic chops than I think they're given the credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think T-Dub comes from improv background and shit. Comedy stuff.
Yeah. So actors. You didn't mention actors.
Yep. I was actually just getting that. We just kind of got sidetracked. So of course we have the title character being played by Chris Hemsworth. We have Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Mark Ruffalo comes back as the Hulk and Bruce Banner in this movie.
Hell yeah, he does.
Prominent appearance too.
They share this shit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And this is one of those things we talked about, like, you know, with Hulk not having his own standalone movie, he does enough work in other movies. He almost doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it would be nice to see it, but like, he doesn't need it. Like, he gets enough action, like, everywhere else. So like,
yeah, the Hulk in his story is better in moderation.
Yeah. And that's just it. I think it's better in moderation. I don't think we need an individual movie. We know enough. You know, I don't know. He's kind of a complicated character for such a simpleton. He's just better without his own movie.
I mean, especially a tank like him, comparatively, like he needs someone to bounce off of. Like he needs it's the straight man versus the Pratt guy.
Yeah.
Sort of duo. Like you need someone to like do the serious shit, or like, you know, deliver the line so that he can set up and be funny.
Yeah,
or like do whatever.
He's better when he reacts.
Yes. Yes. We also have Cate Blanchett playing Hela.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Idris Elba comes back as Heimdall.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
A big cast in this one. Jeff Goldblum is the Grand Master.
We need like horns in the background, right? All triumphant, like while we're naming this cast.
It's fucking
I thought it was Princess. No, Men in Tights.
Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. Carl Urban as Scourge. Anthony Hopkins as Odin. Benedict Cumberbatch makes a guest appearance as Doctor Strange in this movie. We have Taika Waititi plays the role of Korg in the movie. So he's a director and he acts in the movie in certain spots. The guy that I actually found very surprising, I couldn't place his voice at first until I saw the name. Clancy Brown. Is Surtur.
You wouldn't know it because it's voiced, it's
it wasn't the natural like gravelly sort of voice. It was augmented somewhere. Ray Winstone or Stevenson. Oh, that's wrong. Wrong actor. Ray Stevenson plays Volstagg.
Yep.
I think he's one of the Heroes 3. I think he's the redheaded guy with the
Levi too.
Yep.
They both die as soon as Helen's introduced. So
as soon as Helen comes in.
Yeah.
So they're
I was just making fun of the fact I think you called her Helen, not Hela.
Since Hela.
I think and then there's a couple guest spots. You have Luke Hemsworth, Matt Damon, and Sam Neill. Yes. All make guest appearances in a very bit scene in the beginning of the movie.
Which was great.
I thought they were really well done.
So good.
Oh, yes.
Actors.
That was so, yeah. It added to
Odin.
It added to the comedy of it by that cast.
We'll talk about it in a minute. But.
Yep. So getting the numbers out of the way. Estimated budget, excuse me, was 180. Oh, Jesus. 180 million. Sorry. Opening weekend domestic, it made $123 million. So it made almost all its money back opening weekend.
Almost.
It grossed $315 million domestic. And then worldwide, it made $854 million.
100.
Mm.
Whoa,
This
excuse
one
me.
should have
It's
made $1 billion.
150 shy of $1 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It
close.
is ridiculous. It was so successful.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
very
for sure.
worthy of the B.
Yes. Oh man, absolutely. All right. So first
What year did this come
off,
out?
2017.
Okay.
November 3rd, 2017.
Was it your birthday?
Yes. I saw
Every
it on my
day's your birthday when you're Tim.
When he goes to the movies, he's like, "Yay, my
It's my
birthday!"
birthday.
And damn straight I saw this in theaters.
Fucking
Oh,
right.
yeah.
At this point, I was a regular at the theater.
Okay.
It wasn't until pretty much when the kid was born that I stopped going to movies.
Mm.
So,
It's fair.
yep. And then I've been
So, yeah.
to 3 movies in the past 3 years. So,
And we can blame your son. All right. But yeah, seeing this on the
You
big
blame
screen
kids
was
for a lot of things.
yeah, it was
They-
awesome.
they
It was
changed
awesome.
lives.
Seeing it in the big screen was awesome. It was totally a movie worth watching in big screen.
And listening to the music and sound.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Everything
Like
was spot
the
on and popping,
trailer.
colorful.
When the trailer came out, they used Immigrant Song for the trailer and it helped like boost me wanting to go see it. It like amped
Mhm.
me up. It was like the perfect song for this film.
Yeah. I mean, so good they used it twice.
Yeah. Yeah. At that point, they already bought the rights. They might as well.
Yeah, for sure.
First of all, though, how did you like it? Did
Oh,
you
I-
like it?
Like I say, I think it's of the Thor movies, it's the best one.
Yeah. and it's
Um,
deserving of 90 something, not 70 something
Right.
on a ratings.
7.9 for IMDb. It was Metascore. I don't know what the fuck that is.
74.
74.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
that
I mean,
wasn't-
everybody gave it like a C.
So I like it more than the average man, I suppose.
I agree.
Yeah.
But we're not
I'd go with
talking
that.
about the average man. No.
Speaking of, look it up on Spotify.
You're looking at
Yep.
them.
We are all on the same page. This movie deserved more than what we're seeing. So I'm curious of why it didn't register with people as well, because obviously it did well.
Right.
So, but those are scores. People have to type that in. Like,
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
actually have to
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I like this movie," or "I like this movie." So
Yeah.
somebody has to do it. So, and we
My-
did find out, or we talked about this last time, that the IMDb score and stuff like that is like current, so it changes.
Yeah.
It's always
So-
ongoing. So yeah,
that's
maybe
something
people
I never thought about.
people on a bad day are rating it. Too many
I-
bad days.
I wonder
I want to
personal
just slip my wrist. Fuck Thor.
You didn't
30.
even. I'm so sad it didn't even make me laugh. It's such a good movie.
I personally
wanna
wonder
feel
if
bad,
it's
not
Let's-
good. Fuck
Let's
Thor.
let Aaron talk before.
I'm gonna have a
Yes,
thought. You know, motherfuckers just rolling over me. They bullshit.
Get to
That's
it.
why we need a whiteboard.
There's
No, I was gonna say, I wonder if the negative reaction is just based on the fact that it's such a different movie than the first two. Because it's vastly different.
It is a lot light-hearted compared to
Yeah,
the other
it's
one. Not as
brighter
serious.
in every way possible. It's
Yeah.
brighter.
so colorful.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, that's one of the things I want to mention was how colorful it is. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's
But yeah.
vibrant and brilliant, but it's like, it works. It
Yeah.
But
it
yeah.
doesn't take away the tone at all.
But you
And
wonder if people aren't just, going, well, it's just like it's all that colors of it must be cheesy, and just downplaying it in that respect. I mean, you obviously you're
get
gonna
it.
have haters are gonna hate.
I
Sorry,
get what
Jason,
you're
Mike.
saying
Yep.
because it is different than every other Marvel movie. It's got pretty severe stakes, but they're having fun with it.
Yeah.
And this movie's more fun than serious. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every fucking scene, every heartfelt moment is short lived, and it lands. It like just it's perfect. And every other movie before this, like the funnest one you get is Guardians, I suppose, and
Yeah.
the stakes aren't like that high in that movie.
And
I
people,
don't
Yeah,
know,
they
but
seem
it
subdued
wasn't-
comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Guardians was about the same.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really remember what the score was, but yeah, it wasn't like.
But yeah, I guess going from Dark World to a levity. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's just the
I
scope
agree
of the
with
movies
you.
are just
I get
vastly
it.
different.
I agree with you. People are going to
those people are wrong. Those people are wrong.
Well, yeah, they're wrong. This movie deserves a 95, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't give it 100, but I'll give it a 95. Stamp of approval.
Mm-hmm. So, where do we start? What?
We've started.
In this movie, like, where do you start? It's all good.
I know. So I was telling Jason this before, like when we first hopped up on the Zoom. I was like, man, this is gonna be a tough discussion because like there's so much to talk about. It's so good. Like there's so many noteworthy things to mention, and I don't think we're gonna touch like base on half of it.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna scrape. We're gonna scratch the surface, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, a part of me wants to like talk about it, watch it again, come back a week later, talk about it again.
This will be the first 2 or 3 part.
Yeah, all 3x, one at a time.
You said, Aram, that this is your favorite Thor. Out of the films, let's just go with the films right now. Out of the films, all of them that we've watched so far up to this point, how would they go in order for the top 3? Who would be your top 3? I don't remember what you said last time, but we did this last time, I think.
Yeah.
So.
For whatever reason, even though I didn't read a lot of the comics, like I think that I probably lean more towards like a Captain America than I do the others at this point. But so, I mean, I guess for me, film wise, I think the top 3 would have to be like, I think Civil War, even though it's not really a Captain America movie, but I think because it has so many characters and there's a number of things that I really love about that movie. That's probably up there. Probably number 1.
Civil War would be your number 1.
Civil War would be number 1. This is probably number 2.
Okay.
And then
Shocks
I would
me
probably,
because it's total sci-fi.
Yeah, but it still like lands in the comic book. Somehow I'm able to separate this from actual sci-fi. The
sci-fi is only the fucking background, really. They don't really. They act as if you're on Earth. I don't know, like the dialogue and all that shit. You forget they're in space sometimes.
Yeah, it's not about like, oh, fire the lasers on the ship. All the time. It's like,
I got you.
It's fucking Gladiator.
Yeah, but number 3, I'd probably.
Face.
I have to really think. I don't know which one I'd put next. I like the Thor movies, but I don't like them as much as like Winter Soldier probably. One had a number of beats that I enjoyed too. I like Guardians.
We've all watched.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track. Like honestly, like Doctor Strange,
the first 3 Iron Mans, the first 3 Captain Americas.
Yeah. Doctor Strange, both Guardians.
2
Avengers.
Yep.
Fuck, I almost forgot the Avengers.
Because that was one of yours.
Right.
You said like the Avengers was your first.
Huge question for the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
well, for him, I could tell you mine like that.
Yeah, Winter Soldier and Age of Ultron probably. It's kind of a tie. Like, I'd have to fucking like juggle the 2.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking more of a serious route.
But I love the stakes when like for me, like, and it's the same with books. Like I love the idea of a hero being truly noble and achieving that nobility through strife and whatnot. So like those, like
earning his title,
earning the title of a hero. Like, and that's the kind of shit that I really eat up. Like I like that sort of stuff. So
if this ranking was in the category of the funnest Marvel movies, top 3, would it be number 1?
Oh, Ragnarok would have to be number 1, and then Guardians number 1 would be right behind it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think at that number 3, I'd probably put Spider-Man.
Yep. Nice. Yep. I was thinking the same.
So for mine, that's what it would be. It would be literally I love this one. So it would have to go Thor because I love Thor, even with the mythology and stuff. Like I've always loved my Norse mythologies. There's a connection I have with it. So it has to be number one is Thor Ragnarok, two Guardians of the Galaxy number one.
Yep.
And then I would have to say it would be Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
All three of those right there. I love all three of them. If I had to go to a desert island with just those three, I'd be content.
Sure.
I would hash them out together as if they were one.
Tim would have like a desert island murder board, just like different rocks in place.
I would have 3 different coconuts and maybe a pet rock.
You have Wilson.
No.
Wilson, I'm sorry.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with those. Like, I don't know.
In that order?
Yeah, fuck it. What do you guys think about the beginning of this movie? Like the setup into the fucking conflict is like the best ever. I'm sorry, that shit just whatever. It's too big of a question, and they're always gonna constantly keep
or
changing
too small of a
this movie.
mind.
That's me.
The
Just
setup
rolled over and exposed his belly. He was like, "Go for it."
The setup of this movie is the best, the
I did
funniest,
love
the
the fact that-
quickest, and it all makes perfect fucking sense. And it's so fast, and it just gets to the point.
I did love the way the beginning of the movie came full circle
Yeah.
to the end. I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
Well, okay. Quick educational thing for anybody in the podcasting lands listening to us who don't know
It's not a real
anything
word.
about Ragnarok. Ragnarok is in Norse mythology. It's basically their apocalypse. So it's their end of times. So each story, like the Bible has their end of times, the rapture and all that stuff.
cool.
Same with Norse mythology. So their whole thing is that that's what they're taking it from, was they're playing loosely with
Very.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. They're taking their own consideration into what they want to do with it. But that's their point, is the fall of Asgard. Odin was supposed to be eaten by a wolf, and
Thor's supposed to die fighting the world serpent.
Yep. So that's the point, though, is the end of Asgard.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, they nailed it. They did a very excellent job at redefining what that, destined tale, what do we call it? Prophesied Ragnarok meant. And I accepted it 100%.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
badass.
Using
It was
Surtur
it was
as,
very well done.
Yep.
as like the antagonist of the protagonist, antagonist. I don't know. He's like the one that starts it, but he's also the one that like leads the Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know however you want. He's doing the duel.
Right.
He's both.
Are you talking about the guy that Thor defeats in the beginning, and then the
Yes.
huge guy with the awesome sword that
Surtur.
wants me to play Elden Ring right now at the end of the movie?
Yeah, that's
Fuck
Surtur.
yeah.
He's-
Get over Elden Ring. God, go find a life. Go outside and play with the new kids.
It's so open world. I feel like I'm outside on a horse with a Ragnarok sword. But yeah, that character is fucking perfect, and they set him up. And they put him on timeout, and then they bring him back at the end. This movie is fucking awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's like the protagonist, but antagonist.
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
Yeah,
He's dual
He's the
wielding.
fulcrum, which like everything sort of levers on. Like,
If it wasn't for him, Ragnarok wouldn't be a thing.
okay.
But how they used that towards the end of the film, phenomenal.
Yep.
Fucking perfect. And that's what I'm saying. I accepted everything they did.
it was such
Mhm.
a cool way to defeat the bad guy. Like
true bad
instead
guy.
of instead of
the
like
bad girl.
Bad girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead
See
of,
those horns?
Politically correct
Mm.
here.
instead of like, Thor throwing down and like beating her in a fight, he just says,
Yeah.
well, this is the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and I thought that was really well done, and it was very clever. I liked it.
And
it
the
was
and the
somebody-
meaning
I
behind
already
his
gave her
choice.
all the lightning in all the world, and it did nothing.
Yeah, his choice of why he made that happen was dope.
So, Jason, since you brought it up, what is it that you like the most about the beginning of this?
Oh, they set up the big bad kinda in the beginning. Then they he goes home and he has that funny reconnection with his brother. Then they have the father death scene. Then they have the sister introduction. Then oh my god, and they just keep going and going, and then they're in the portal and they get split. Loki and Thor. Like I don't know if you can even go through the portal.
So you like the ride?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna agree with Martin Scorsese on this one. This isn't a dope ass amusement park ride. Like it's fucking amazing. It's like the best ride at the park.
Yeah,
so far.
It is a ride. It's nonstop. Like,
Oh yeah, especially the
it's not a
beginning.
dull moment.
Just beat after beat, and they all fucking land with laughter, emotion, excellent dialogue. I like things that cut to the chase. So I don't know why I can't do it, but
Jason's not a fan of nuance.
Yeah.
I am. But I appreciate when it fast paced and is done well.
Yeah, for sure.
This was done really well. Now here's the question. So this is a action, sci-fi, fantasy, comedy. For what appears to be a comedy action movie, do you think that the fast pace came because of the comedy? Or do you think that it was because that's just how they were able to write the fantasy story and then work the comedy in?
That's a good question.
I actually, I'm going to go with that's how they wrote it, and the comedy was worked in.
Okay.
I think even if you take the comedy away, there's still enough of a movie there on its own that it flows fine. I think.
Okay.
But the
comedy helps, don't get me wrong, but I think if you take the comedy away, you can still make that movie and it'll be okay. It might need some work, but it's still there.
Right.
Versus you take all the action out, the comedy doesn't hold up on its own.
Oh, absolutely not, because the comedy relies on the fast pace, because they're just quick little one-liners before a scene ends, punchlines. Yeah.
The comedy has a lot to do with reaction.
Yeah. And that's why that's why I think the comedy was written in kind of as they went. I don't think
But knowing who directed it, TW is he's a comedian. He's a comedic writer, comedic actor, comedic writer, all that. It's very satirical and stuff like that.
He's very funny.
Knowing his directing style, do you think that was what is driving the force? How would you imagine to justify his directing style for this film, given that we've watched it?
I would wager that I don't think he did it with the comedy in mind. I think that's just a natural mechanism he has.
Okay.
So I would say he probably was trying to make the movie and he just worked it in naturally because that's how he is. And that would be my assumption. I would say I'm not too versed in his work other than the stuff he's done lately,
shadows.
And I mean, that sort of stuff. But I mean, I would think that it's
free guy.
Yeah.
So I think it's more he's able to direct and the comedy he works in naturally. I don't think he does it with that in mind. I think he just tries to make the movie work the way it works.
Okay. It kind of had a Rob Reiner feel to it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, my turn, Aaron.
Somebody slap that man.
Yeah. Feel to it. Where
Will Smith slap.
But Rob Reiner feel to it on set. Everybody's comfortable. They're having a good time. They're becoming friends. They're just bullshit and shooting the shit. And they're coming up with these improv things. And apparently, 80% of his dialogue is improv. So they're just having a good time on set. I think paid off. And that's how it feels.
So I'm kind of leaning on what you're saying, Aaron. I kind of like what you said about it. The way I view this is that the story was written and the comedy flowed naturally.
Yeah.
So I do have to kind of agree with you. I don't think that it was written to be funny necessarily. Yeah, I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were scenes that were.
I'm sure it was written to be lighter than I think it was written to be lighter than the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Especially
look at
after all the
some of these scenes and some of the imagery, like the Valkyrie scene, right? Where
Yeah.
like the Valkyries are fighting Hela. That's a
When Loki
goddamn
touches the head.
masterpiece of a
Oh,
painting.
for sure.
It was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I was
Like,
gonna
that's
touch
one
on
of
that.
my
Same with
favorite
Thor and the
scenes.
lightning ending. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
it kind of remind me of Sparta. They're 300.
you just you get those
Yeah.
moments, you get some serious moments that just break it up with a little bit of comedy. And it's still like you still feel the heaviness of the seriousness. It wasn't taken away. It was just like an emphasis of like, oh, I feel like I'm an awkward moment. Let's do this.
I feel like Taika Waititi in some ways, not, and Jason may jump on my back about this, but I'm going to liken him to Kevin Smith in so much that he's able to write and do very serious shit, but able to work in humor at the same time. Maybe not as dialogue heavy as Kevin Smith is. I also don't know much of Taika Waititi's writing, if he does any. But directing wise, like I think he's along the same lines as Kevin Smith in that respect.
Yeah. The fact that Anthony Hopkins' death scene, their father passes away in this perfect emotional moment in this awesome scenery, and then they stand up to face the sister. And then you see Thor holding an umbrella. That's his fucking hammer. That right there is fucking hilarious in a deep emotional scene.
And it cuts that emotional.
Yeah, it brings some
the
levity
emotional
to it.
Thickness of it. The thickness of the emotion. It cuts it a little bit.
But yeah,
so it's not such
can
a
do it without heavy dialogue.
Right, and that scene.
Example.
Using that little bit that cuts the emotional tension so that it's not such a hard turn into the confrontation between Hela and Thor.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make it such a hairpin turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is, I think, is really cool.
Yeah. I think that he has done a phenomenal job at taking something serious, letting the serious sink in, and then taking you appropriately out of the seriousness.
Yeah.
And still registering everything that needed to be registered, letting it soak in just enough.
He makes it look easy to do, but it's not. And I appreciate it when it's that seamless.
And the perfect example that I would use is that, like you said, Thor and Loki go and they see Odin and on the shores of Norway, and then Odin talks, and then he says some things, and he says, "I love you," and then he dies.
Yeah,
becomes particles of magic into the universe, kind of thing. And then you see the sadness, and you see that Loki looks over, and like Thor's not just sad; he's angry.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking massively.
He was
angry,
gonna smash Loki's face before the sister arrived.
And then the sister arrives,
Hela.
and they immediately get into conflict during a sad moment. And this is all weighing heavy. But then immediately when they go and they're beamed up and Bifrost, they step out and then they get thrown into a planet. What happens immediately when Thor gets thrown into the planet of
garbage?
Sakaar, yeah.
It becomes a comedy again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
he
like
landed in a fucking junkyard.
perfect. It was like the perfect amount of comedy too.
You never lose sight of the emotional stakes of the movie, but like
They're
does
just on break.
He definitely layers in the comedy.
Game on.
Car.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I mean, obviously we talked when we saw Doctor Strange, but the cut scene from Doctor Strange, the mid-credit scene, is this movie. It is in this movie. It's a shot for shot. I mean, I think they just took the footage.
It was. How do you like it? How did you like that Doctor Strange encounter?
I thought it was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, Doctor Strange as a movie kind of flew under the radar for me. But this was a nice like introduction.
But yeah, him being
even though it wasn't the introduction,
Thor being confused, the beer thing was awesome.
Yeah,
the
I love the beer thing.
The toppling of something. Some kind of
the whole thing with Loki, be like, I was falling for 30 minutes.
What I'm saying. That's part of the setup. It's fucking hilarious. And
it's a bowl in a china shop.
It answers questions.
Not trying to touch any of the china.
Yeah.
It's the first thing he touches and it just like falls apart in his hands.
I agree. I thought it was great because you have something who you have someone who's a little more serious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Well, yeah. Loki got in Earth for 1 second. Doctor Strange was like, I'm gonna capture you. You're too
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, he's been
Like,
there for
it
less than
happened
30
so
seconds, and he's already captured. Yep.
So that's how serious that guy is.
I also like that
Fucking neighborhood
Thor's like,
watch.
what'd you do? It's like, this isn't me. And it disappears. And then there's a card, and he pokes the card with the umbrella to make sure it's not like a trap or something.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
But when
I do
when
like
he
that
calls
too.
Mjolnir in the sanctum, and you hear like
Oh, yeah,
breaking
he's-
things, and he's like,
Oh, sounds expensive, kind of. Yeah.
I don't think
Like I
it was
said,
good.
he's like
I
a bull in a china shot, not trying to touch the china.
Right.
Every time he turns around,
Mm-hmm.
bumps a plate of
I enjoyed that. That was a good
Yeah.
little bit.
and the beer, the tea. Would you like some tea? He just has tea. I don't
drink tea. What do you
Right.
drink?
What would
Not
you drink?
tea.
Not tea. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I like that
Valkyrie's
too a lot.
introduction was fun as fuck too. Like her being wasted and shooting
That's
the
what
ship.
I was getting
the
at earlier.
her-
Yeah.
arm thing not working. Like I don't know. It was
Yeah, that was good.
Just her walking off and then falling off.
yeah. Yeah.
I got this. It falls off.
Yeah, like you saw it coming, but that pratfall, the way she did it was like you can't help but laugh.
And
Like,
and when she like pushes herself up and she puts her hand through that
yeah.
creature, it pulls
Yeah.
out, just continues doing her thing.
Yeah.
It's like
But then
it's
she's
like a deer spider. Had like
right.
eyes but antlers. It was fucking weird.
Their whole time on Sakaar was a fun
Bonkers.
ride.
That was the amusement park ride for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say that was the theme
Yeah.
palace right there. And first the music.
did you
listen to the
hear-
music.
It was
The
Willy Wonka. It was
Yeah.
Candyman.
Yeah.
I loved it. I never caught it before.
Yeah, I know. I
That's
did
how
this.
I was watching it tonight.
I'm like, is that Candyman?
That's
Yeah.
imagination. I guess.
What the fuck?
Pure imagination. I love that song. And
Great song.
they did the whole tunnel thing too.
Mhm.
And then Thor's just like, and you're about to meet the Grand Master. And he's just standing in there in the chair. So it's like
Jeff Goldblum was hilarious.
Oh,
movie.
the perfect choice. The perfect,
Oh my
perfect
god,
choice.
yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
I
I loved
agree.
it.
Yeah,
I agree. Jeff Goldblum.
One more
Jeff
reason I
Goldblum being
believe
Jeff
on the
Goldblum at
improv.
his best.
That guy was
Yeah.
just on a Conan O'Brien episode on his podcast. Oh, he's just the funniest, charming dude, smoothest fucking. I
Yeah.
don't know. So and he was just all of that in this movie. Is why I brought.
Yeah.
It up.
Yeah, like I love his little quirkies that he has.
Yeah.
His little quirkiness where he's like,
Yeah. His
Where you-
runs.
where he goes to the right hand man guard chick.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just talking about you, 142. It's like, oh, it starts with a B. That chick said something. You're trash.
Bitch.
No.
Or trash. Yeah.
No, that's not what I no.
I love
You're
what
the
she's
best.
like
You're the best.
when she hands him the rod and he's like, "Why did you hand me the melting stick?"
Yeah, no, they just interrupted me. It's not a sin or whatever. Yeah.
Punishable by death.
Because he's not, it just shows you the kind of ruler he is. He
Yeah.
wants the appeal. He's a celebrity. He's a diva,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
He doesn't want the hatred. He wants the
And
wants
did we
everybody to
establish
like
at one point
Right.
that he's a celestial?
elder.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember what we settled on.
I don't know if we talked about this during the Guardians, but we had talked about this previously, and I fucked it all up because it's fucking comic book nerdness that gets
Yeah, so that's a deep dive, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the Eternals,
Mhm.
you have the Celestials, and the Eternals were created by the Celestials.
Oh,
And then you have the Elders, and that's what they are. So you have the Collector, which is Benicio del Toro's character, the Collector.
Mhm.
He's an Elder. You have the Grand Master, who's an Elder, and then you have Ego, who's technically an Elder, not a Celestial. In Volume
Oh.
2, he calls himself a Celestial.
right.
That's not the case in the comics.
that's why he
but it-
did.
Like most
Yeah,
of his
so-
dialogue, he be lying.
Punk ass.
In this case, we're just dealing with these two characters. So the Collector and the Grand Master, they are elders.
Okay.
And the elders are the last race of their kind to survive, and they've made a pact with death that basically makes them immortal. And Jeff Goldblum's, or the Grandmaster, says this. It's like, oh, on some planets I'm like 1,000,000 years old, and this one he's and he just stops. It's like he doesn't want to say his age. He's just like, I'm too good for that. He's total diva.
He's like, that's not important. That's not important. Moving on.
He's a sweetheart diva, though.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's good natured.
Yeah. He's actually he wants to be liked and be looked in a positive light, but he also wants positivity surrounding him. So he's just a good.
No
dude.
matter what the negative things.
A good elder. Yeah. And
I loved it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like when Valkyrie like touches his face after he pisses, like, oh. Those little quirks that he does are fantastic. Or like the slave. Oh, I don't like that word. The prisoners forced to work. Yeah, that works.
What is it when Thor and Hulk escape and he's like, oh, my champion's gone missing. Celebrate my champion by finding him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love how he puts himself in this giant hologram to do announcements and stuff like that. He's larger than life. And,
And I love the ship when Bruce is piloting and he hits the button and it's just the little hologram. But it's my birthday. He's like shooting off fireworks.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Did you just say this is a ship that he does orgies in? Yeah, don't touch anything. I was actually extremely shocked that they let that fly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, after you see the Hulk's ass, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
That's fair. I know. Yeah, that's true. Oh, yep. He's naked.
Yeah, he's naked.
Seared into my brain.
That's in my brain.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. Oh, Hulk in a hot tub.
I actually really enjoyed the fact that they made Hulk a speaking character as opposed to Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Not that Bruce isn't in this, but like when Hulk is there, he's actually a speaking character instead of just grunting and screaming.
And the reason why he's in full on Hulk mode and not Banner.
Well, we get a brief understanding that he can talk.
Yeah.
Prior to that, like we see it before. It's just little.
Yeah. But this is where
words here and there.
He exhibits a level of intelligence and awareness is what you don't get from those blips.
Like a toddler.
He's saying phrases in broken English or something, but more than stammering or just one word things before.
Yeah, like you said, it's like a broken English kind of thing. But in this case, we understand that he's been Hulk for 2 years. That makes sense that he's just,
Hulk's kind of coming into himself a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, come together.
Now, I don't think we've talked about this, but I like to talk about dualities of characters. Hulk and Banner. This is the first time that we really get to see a separation at a full extent. Discuss. I'm going to grab a beer.
The fuck does he mean? If anything,
well, I mean,
we just get only Hulk in this movie, but every time he talks with intelligence, that's a little bit of Banner.
What I'm talking about is
you get to
have
see
a separation
the fact that
at this point. You have the Hulk as Hulk, you have the Banner to Banner. How does Mark Ruffalo play both parts well?
Well, you get to see that Hulk's no thought. He's all action.
Yeah,
he reacts
and that's no
on
longer
a gut level. Yeah, he reacts on an emotional level, like becoming the champion that he fights to get what he to get better accommodations and whatnot. So he reacts to wanting to be better.
And that's the perfect choice to, satisfy his violent urges,
Yeah. But you also see
Gladiator in some planet. Sorry.
But you also see when Thor escapes after they get comfortable with each other, Thor escapes, all of a sudden Hulk's upset that he left.
Yeah.
So you get to see that it's not just his violent nature. It's the negative feelings that Bruce has. So loneliness, abandonment, those things are what really encompass Hulk. So he reacts to the fact that Thor left and he's yelling at him as he's breaking the plane, like, friend, don't leave.
He's a toddler. He really is like a toddler.
Yeah, very much so.
He's riding on
So,
emotions.
yeah, he's
he
all
doesn't have a
reacting-
clear
he-
understanding of everything. He just deals with what's in front of him. He understands that he's
Pure
being
emotion.
appraised for his
Yeah.
violence, like Jason was saying, and he loves it. He loves the attention, and he's like he mentions, Earth hates Hulk. This place loves him. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't he want to stay?
Yeah.
They celebrate his violence,
and-
like, which is what he's good at and how he
Mm,
reacts.
That's what I'm saying. Why he's there. He's running away from like
Yeah.
the ultimate worst thing he's ever done is go on a rampage and Ultron, Age of Ultron, right? We haven't seen him since then.
Well,
Yep.
what I do like is when Banner explains what it was like. It's like he said, usually, like Banner or me and Hulk have two hands on the wheels fighting for control. I thought that was a brilliant analogy. And then he explains that in this case, it feels like Hulk had the keys to the car and I was locked in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, for sure.
phenomenal way to envision how Banner feels.
Right.
Almost definitely. Trying to think of what else to go on about that.
I just
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
know if Ruffalo did a good job playing Banner and Hulk in a movie that
Absolutely.
you see a complete separation of the two. 'Cause
You
we've
definitely
never
see
really
a
talked
separation of
about
the two. I would agree, or I would say you definitely see a separation of the two.
Yeah, he plays good on both parts. I'm not familiar with the TV show Lou Ferrigno or anything, but I don't
Lou
know what to
Ferrigno
compare
was
it
the
to.
only one playing the Hulk. He wasn't
Yeah.
Bruce Banner. That was some
Thought
other
so.
guy.
right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
and he only looked like the Hulk. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, Tim.
I personally, yeah, I think Ruffalo did a good job on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think it'll ever get better.
I've never been a huge fan of Mark, but
Really?
over the years, every time I watch the guy, I just grow more and more and more attached to him. Like I love seeing him when he's in things. Like if he's on something, I'm like, ooh, I like that guy.
Adam
Like, you
Project?
know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's just I've never found him to be an actor that I would follow on Instagram or anything necessarily.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? But he's good. I like him in everything I see him. That's just it. I like him when I see him in things.
He's one of those. It's like John Malkovich. Like you like him in most stuff you see him in, but like you never think of him, or at least for Tim. Like I probably different thought process on it, but like I get what you mean about Mark Ruffalo. Until these movies, Mark Ruffalo was a guy I knew of. But like I never went out of my way, but and I never saw him turn in a really bad performance.
Mm-hmm.
No. He's
But
a
this has
talented
really
actor.
skyrocketed his career and like helped people to see that he can act. Like, because I mean, he has to act as opposed to some of these other guys, like where they can kind of get away with it on their looks.
Yeah.
He has to act his way through it.
I will
and
say
he really does well.
I've never seen him play a character other than this as the Hulk. Hulk is probably the only time I've ever seen him play a character.
Oh, this internal struggle and
no, like an actual character. I can't register any like Johnny Depp, for example, is a phenomenal character actor. Right. He's great at playing characters. He can do three different characters that are isolated. I've never for the most part, Mark Ruffalo has always played just
a guy,
basically like a guy. Yeah, the same character in everything I've ever seen him in. He's good. He's talented.
Yeah,
but
I know what you're saying.
There's never been a distinguished. Hey, when he played that character, oh, it was so good. You know what I mean?
Did you remember him in The Cut with Meg Ryan?
I don't think I've ever saw that.
Oh, he plays a cop in that one. So. From other stuff,
that's
the
not
other
where
stuff
she's
I remember,
like blonde and she's like a sex addict who's like fucking mental.
Maybe I only saw it the one time, but like he was a cop and he had like a weird like cop mustache. But like that one was a movie where like he wasn't a really big character, but he was definitely different than what I like was used to seeing him as.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's probably the closest I can come to think of him playing a character.
So yeah, Tim, you're right. It's rare for him to do something like this, and he pulled it off perfectly.
He does it. Yeah, he does it well when he gets the chance. It's just he's just always kind of cast in that like just a guy role.
Yeah, I really like him as Bruce
he does a
Banner.
lot
I
of
really
wrong-
like him as the Hulk. I really like it.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
I was so glad that they found him.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody else.
Well, I mean, even going back to like the Avengers and that one little blip where like, you know, they talk about what like the cell on the helicarrier for the Hulk. And he's like, "Oh, you think you're gonna kill him? You can't. I tried." And that's when you learn like that he tried to commit suicide at one point. I saw a thing today where they had that clip and that was like underneath the captions, and that was when everyone else's heart in the room broke.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it was kind of a throwaway line. Like that whole little bit was like a 2-second blip right before something big happened.
Right.
And no one really gave it any thought.
Yep. If they didn't sit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's a
linger.
big fucking
Note.
deal. Like it's a huge emotional beat if you think about it for a second.
Yeah. In this film, we talked about how it's extremely comedic beats. It's just the directing style. But it has a serious tones too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, I guess, what's your favorite comedic part about this film? Because this is probably one of the most funniest films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Right next, personally, I think right next to Guardians of the Galaxy.
It might
But
be
you're
funnier
dealing
than
with two
Guardians.
different comedic
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
geniuses, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Side note, did you know James Gunn made a video game?
No.
Yeah, there's like a. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you.
Unless
I
it's
just
the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, because I know that they did.
No, it's like a zombie game with like I think you play like a cheerleader with a chainsaw that goes around killing zombies. I'll have to find it for you.
Intrigued.
Well done.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
And all the
James Gunn
enemies
produced it.
All the main bosses are really big, disgusting blobs.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's where he came up with his theme.
Dude, he's got a thing and he does it right.
Every film.
But
back to your question, Tim. For me, my favorite comedic moment, and I was telling you guys this before, it's when Loki appears in the cell with Thor after he's obtained by the Grand Master, and they're talking, and he's an illusion, so he disappears after the talk with Thor. And after he disappears, Korg comes out of nowhere and like kicks Thor. He's like, "Piss off, ghost!" And he's like, "He's gone." It's for whatever reason. That the first time I saw it, I laughed out loud at it. If I had been drinking, I probably would have choked or spit out whatever I had because it struck me so randomly.
It is fun. Piss off, go. It's also because like he's like a millisecond behind.
Yeah,
like, the ghost is already
Loki's completely gone when he shows up.
Yeah, piss off,
and then the
I got
bug
your
guy,
back, bro.
The bug guy whose name I forget, just comes cartwheeling from the other side.
Oh, Meek.
Is that what his name was?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Little critter guy.
Yeah. He comes like cartwheeling in from the other side.
Is that like
he's gone.
Ectoplasm or like eggs? They look like eggs.
I did like at the end, like, "Oh, where are you?" When they're flying, they're trying to figure out, where are you from? "Oh, he's long dead. I stepped on him on the bridge earlier."
Oh, yeah.
I just been carrying him around because I feel bad.
All day. Oh, look, Meek's alive.
Alive, yay. We can, happy ending.
What was the question, bro?
That happened during a Star Trek moment, during Thor's Captain Kirk fucking moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When he sits in the chair, where are we going next? Well, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. It's very Star Trek, and I appreciated it. My favorite.
It is very Star Trek-y.
Yeah, he got his Captain Kirk moment. It was awesome. He deserved it.
Throne. So. I never looked at a throne and a captain's chair is the same thing before until this. Totally.
No,
yeah, and like the second she said, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never looked at it as that kind of hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like, military versus royalty. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's the highest point of the leader.
Yeah, but it wasn't until this film that I'm like,
Yep.
oh my god, yeah. Every captain in a spaceship is just a fucking king.
Right. My in the beginning of the movie when he's Thor is tied to the chain having a conversation with Surtur.
Surtur.
And then he's telling the information.
Oh, when he keeps spinning.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, let me spin back around. I swear I'm not
not
doing
even
this on
moving.
my own.
It's just doing it.
I'm not even moving. This is just doing this.
But what gets me the most is like, I think it's worth the wait. I feel like we had a good connection there.
Yeah.
I want to. This shit cracks me up every time, and I've seen this movie, double digits. So
and you see Surtur, he sighs too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the second or third time he does it. And
the fact that he just keeps letting it happen.
Yeah. That also adds
like,
to the fun.
It's like, that's what makes heroes. Oh man, I didn't time that right.
Hold on, I timed this wrong.
Yeah.
Which is a running gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's since the first one, it's been a running gag that he has to wait for his hammer, and he's like, he just never knows how far away it is.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that he can lose his hammer anywhere in the galaxy, and he's just got to hold it there, and it's just anytime now.
Well, even in Doctor Strange's place, he's just like, hey, sorry about this. He's like breaking through walls and all this crap. Bull in a china shop.
And the comment of that's what heroes do is kind of a running joke, because both times he says it, there's a comedic beat. Yeah. There's that one, and then when he's like, he gets the ball from Hulk, he's like, and he throws it at the window trying to break it, and bounces, hits him in the face. He gets back, that's what heroes do.
I love that.
That was good.
Was that yours?
No, I don't know. There's so many.
Oh, gotta be Plan B or whatever.
Yeah, that's another huge question. Tim's got the largest questions tonight. But yeah, it's nonstop laughter.
It's probably when he and Loki are trying to get through the hallway and like, how are we gonna get past him? I know a plan.
Let's do help me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do help me. Let's do help me. It works all the time. Yeah, but it's degrading. Help me, my brother's dying. Help him. And just throws him. I did like how they referenced that at the bridge. I'm not doing help me. I don't know. It's really tough. Every single comedic beat lands to me.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
There's not one second where you go, nice try.
Yeah.
Or something like
Everybody
that.
had a comedic moment too. That was
every single one. Yeah.
And there's so many nice tries in these Marvel movies, or it's like a family kid joke or some shit. You're like, whatever.
Carl Urban.
But this one is just, behold my stuff.
Yeah, my stuff. I love that. My stuff. It's just a corner of crap. He's like, my stuff.
Especially like these two when he holds up the machines. I got these from a place called Texas.
Enjoy. Because when you put them together, they destroy.
Oh, the butcher from The Boys. That guy has a cool ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna run away?
Hero turn.
Yeah, but he was like in the ship, ready to hide away or some shit.
Yeah,
because he was a traitor, obviously.
Yeah. Right.
And,
Scourge,
but yeah, he just comes
yourself.
Back with.
Well, my father was a stonemason. No.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah, and it all.
That's what I mean.
Emotions
like
land because
Hela
of the beginning.
got like emotion or a comedic beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop you right there.
Yeah. But yeah, the end of this movie, I think, is by far the best Marvel ending. It's my number one for
really
ending of a Marvel movie. Yeah.
Why is that?
There was no cheese to it, and if there was, it came with a smile. Like there's a whole crew of these friends and these bonds that have been established throughout this story, and they're all just fighting together in these fucking we're not gonna make it circumstances. And you just cut to character. You got Hulk fighting the wolf, you got Valkyrie busting a move, and Thor doing his thing, and then it just all adds up, leads to his excellent decision where Asgard is not a place, it's the people. Hence that little quick
moment.
Yeah. It's just the emotion, the comedy, the action, it all was there, and it all flowed so fucking well. And it ended with a Captain Kirk moment as the resolve.
Yeah.
Arguing now.
It is one of those where this ending was it was appropriate, happy ending to a horrifically tragic
There you go.
because he
Ending.
sacrifices home to defeat his sister, but it was genius, and then
Yeah.
how they established that decision was very emotional, poetic, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really
very
fucking well
very
done
poetic.
and done so fast. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't beat around the bush about it. They
No.
just kind of, hey, here it is.
Ragnarok,
I like that.
the Elden Ring boss, he was only there for a little bit.
Elden
Son of a bitch.
But take that game away from you.
You need to buy that. I'll give it to you.
Nope.
Wait, that's what you said. You take it and you play it, Tim. You take it from me and you play it.
I ain't got that kind of time.
It is. This. Hopefully, I'm done being obsessed with it soon because it is stupid.
Doubtful.
I understand Tim's anger.
What about your serious moments? Was there any serious moments in this film that you think hit or landed very, very well? I mean, once again, this is one of the best well-written Marvel films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As of right now. Like, it's phenomenal. But
I like
was
the
there a serious
Odin.
moment that you went, fuck yeah, that was
like
good?
I like Odin's death.
You like Odin's death?
Yeah.
That'd be your...
That
I was
part,
you would think it'd be a little more powerful, but the subtlety also added to everything too.
Yeah.
It just happened, and it was almost a reflection of it in real life. It just happens.
Yeah,
I'm here, and
the
then
whole
I die, and I'm something else.
The beauty of Anthony Hopkins' dialogue, his point being is like, you guys are like big as fuck, but really, this moment or everything is the little things matter or something like that. Yeah. It's just the small shit.
Yeah.
And
you don't lose sight of the small things for the big picture, I think is what he's
Yeah.
driving at.
Yeah. And he's trying to emphasize that their focus is just small. They even mentioned that in the flashbacks. Like, even with 2 eyes, you could only see half the picture.
Right.
Right. It's the same thing. Like, they think too small and they focus too small.
Yeah.
And they don't look at the larger things.
It's like
on top
playing
of that
chess.
you're on your own also. So here you go. There's no fucking.
I think
Odin's
Odin's
kind of a way to cut the ties.
Yeah. It's like, just
nope,
rip the
Daddy's not
Band-Aid
here
off.
no more.
Like,
Taking
no
the
more
credit cards, the
no more
cars
training
away.
wheels.
Here's the world.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
right.
You're on your own.
I think
Thrown in the
Odin's
deep end.
lesson was really,
Don't spoil
See
your
the-
children.
see the whole board. Like, it's not, the biggest move, or like this move may not always be the right one. You see the whole board and see the ones that might get you there
You
the
learn as
same
you
way
go.
with, and that, but I was going to say at first I would have, if having rewatched it now, if you had asked me before, it would have been Odin's death. Would have been, I mean, because that actually tears me up.
Yeah.
But I actually really enjoyed the second scene with Odin when he's talking to
dream
Thor,
sequence
the
type
dream
of thing.
sequence when he's fighting Hela. Cause like, the whole, like, and the end piece of that, when he's like, I'm not as strong as you. He's like, no, you're stronger. And like, that was the end of it. Like, that whole spiel, like, I actually really enjoyed this time around. I thought that whole part was cool.
They even did Thor is on his knees like, I can't be Thor without my hammer. That's how they set up that fucking dialogue. And Anthony Hopkins just looks at him like, you idiot. And after just watching that shit with Iron Man and Spider-Man and Homecoming in whatever Tim said.
Homecoming.
It's just a reiteration of this important, powerful point. So it was cool.
Yeah, it's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have.
Exactly.
Well, and he says it in the first Thor. It's a hammer that's built to, or it's a hammer that can be used as a tool to build things or as a weapon to destroy.
Yeah.
That's all he was really saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tool. No matter which way you use it, it's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And
and that whole spiel, like,
it.
When Thor goes, I'm nothing, like, she broke my hammer, I'm nothing without it. He's like, are you the god of hammers?
Yeah. I love that. I thought it was great.
Oh, speaking of which, how seamlessly she broke that hammer was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That shit broke right away. It might as well have been an umbrella. But yeah, it displayed the strength of this character, and
Yeah.
it was and she was badass. The villain in this, like, she's, I don't know,
Kate Blanchett was dope.
she
Yeah.
was pretty
I want to talk
fucking
about her in
good.
just a minute, though.
Okay,
wanna
your
finish this
emotional
little-
moment, Tim? Or what's up? What's
Did you
next?
Did you say yours, Aaron? Sorry.
Yeah, mine was the second, like the
Okay.
second
Follow-up.
scene between
Second
Thor and
Odin.
Odin.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that whole spiel was mine
I
for
honestly,
serious.
Part 2, Anthony Hopkins.
I absolutely loved the Valkyrie painting imagery, the Renaissance,
Yeah,
Yeah,
William Blake style painting,
sure.
fucking scene.
That was very
when-
cool.
When Loki's it's a painful memory, whatever, and it attaches and
He
you just
taps
see
her
that
on the
fire.
forehead.
I was just blown away. If
Mm.
anything TW is done in this film is he doesn't lack on scenery. He doesn't lack on imagery at all.
Yeah,
He doesn't lack on poetry.
Yeah.
Because he's in touch with a sense of the poetry of what everything means.
he knows how
Even
to work an
comedic
aesthetic.
style. Like, yeah, he doesn't take
dropping
he does-
life lessons beautifully.
Oh God, because that was gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't just epic and destructive and powerful and like violent. It was amazingly beautiful.
That was not even a
I-
life lesson. That was just a beautifully shot
it's
scene.
just, and that's what I'm saying. That was probably my favorite. Was that
Yeah.
entire step of that that section, because I
Hell yeah.
loved it. I loved it because it really explains the character. It really explains what the Valkyries were, what they did.
Yeah.
But it was just the scenery itself was fucking awesome. It was
Yeah,
so
I-
epic.
It makes the
So
callback to
beautiful.
what Valkyrie says earlier to Thor about like the fact that they were supposed to go back into to drive Hela back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it totally reminded me of Zack Snyder. He pulled a Zack Snyder fucking
Same,
playbook, like right out of his playbook.
yeah,
The slow
same with that.
motion, the exaggerated colors, everything was a fucking Zack Snyder
Same
film.
thing
right there.
when Thor pops out of Anthony Hopkins part 2 emotional scene and just starts using the lightning and he just goes on a rampage. There's a fucking it's Zack Snyder written all over that shit.
Yeah.
There's like a slow
Yeah.
motion, like I don't know how to, it's just you freeze that shit, you got yourself a NFT.
A
Yeah,
wall,
I
a
don't
piece
know.
of
For
wall.
sure.
Wallet.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's my scene.
Hell yeah.
Kate Blanchett though as Hela,
Ooh-wee.
as the villain. For somebody who's in a film, I have a respect for her. She's not one of my favorites. I don't
Mhm.
go looking for her by any means,
Same.
but my God, she is a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
The moment I saw her play Bob Dylan,
Yep. That was
and
what I was thinking
sold the
too.
shit out of it. Like I was stunned. I was just
What
like,
the fuck?
my God, perfect. Like,
You haven't seen that movie? I mean, I haven't either, but I know the movie he's talking
what
about.
is it called? I don't know. We have to
I'll
look
just
it up
write
later,
down
but
Kate and Bob Dylan.
yeah,
Yeah, Kate Blanchett, Bob,
playing
because it's like
Dylan.
it's like 5 people playing Bob Dylan.
playing Bob
Oh,
Dylan.
okay.
It's like
Yep.
through the ages. I think Kevin Kline or Andy Garcia plays one of them, like the older, like vagabond version.
Couldn't tell you. All I know
Oh,
is
yeah, that shit sounds
She
interesting.
is a phenomenal actress,
Yeah.
and how'd you guys like her as the villain? This character,
oh,
this
shit.
emo character.
Is it my favorite villain right now? Could be. I don't know. I didn't think about it like that. I just enjoyed her everything. Every scene she was in, all the fucking maniacal shit. Her attitude. I don't know. The fucking horns, the way they displayed those silly looking things. I
I
fucking
like that too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It bugged me so much.
Yeah.
But I also really liked how it was done, where she just pulls her hair back like she's
Yep.
getting ready
Yep.
for something, and then that's presenting her warrior,
Right.
like her armor. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like,
Yep.
all right, hold on, I gotta pull my hair back, tie it up in a bun. Here it
Mhm.
is. I'm ready to fuck you up.
Swim.
So
I love Kate Blanchett. I actually kind of want to say I loved the female leads in this movie. I thought they both kind of stole
Oh,
the
shit.
show.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like Tessa
Absolutely.
Thompson did
Yeah.
a phenomenal job too. I thought they both
Absolutely.
were great.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I mean, I'd put both of them. Like I say, I mean, and it's gonna sound like I'm pandering, but I mean, I just think they really stole
for
the
somebody
show.
who's openly admitted
Pandering
I'm not
raid.
into female characters. Just
I find it hard to get behind them, and like I don't like same thing with female comedians. Like I don't find many of them that funny.
here you are.
But yeah, I mean, I think
Just-
they stole the show on this one.
When credit is due.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't be. I'm just saying I find it hard.
Anyways, you weirdos. Yeah, I loved it. Her performance, her character, and what she did with it, and then her demise was fucking hilarious.
I
Even
will
though she
say
should have been smart enough to move, but she didn't.
her outfit. Now, I think that Kate is a fairly attractive woman,
Mhm.
and she has a very sleek body or whatever.
Yeah.
But the bodysuit that she had, right? It's like super skin tight. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Superhero, kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Every time I saw her on screen, and like the way she was standing, she always looked like she was like having to hold that she was peeing or something. You know, like she had to go pee, and so she had to hold her. Like it's just her pose. You know what I mean?
I think I
Mhm.
understand what you're talking
You
about.
know, like this is
Yeah,
the way that she
I
always
suppose.
posed herself. It's like she had this, like she had to go pee, and she's having to hold it. I think she's doing a dance. It's just that she's like, oh, I gotta go pee. All right, I can hold it. Here it is. Here's the scene.
I missed it. I get lost in her eyes.
She looks so emo. She totally looks emo right
just-
away when you see her.
The,
I'm like,
yeah.
the
she-
paint on
she
her
looks
eyes,
like-
yeah. The
yeah, she
raccoon
looks
But
look.
when
like,
I see her in
uh,
anything, she's such a believable actress. That's all I'm watching is her
she
eyes.
totally reminded me of Lacuna
So, yeah.
Coil's female singer.
Christina Scabbia.
Yep.
I really should
Totally
remember
looked
that
like
sort of
her.
shit.
As soon as you saw her. It's funny, you know. That's funny.
What was I going to ask?
I don't know.
I forgot.
know.
now.
I'm gonna ask.
Can't be that
Hmm.
important. It's fine.
I got. What's the
Oh.
post credit scene? What's up?
Sorry, I was going to say, having seen her in other stuff, disregarding her role in Doctor Strange, do you think Tilda Swinton could have done a better job playing Hela than Kate Blanchett?
Tilda Swinton.
She
She's
played
in
the
She played
the
old
ancient one in Doctor
The
Strange,
ancient one, yeah.
Oh,
but like she
I-
was
you
Michael
might be
in
splitting
she was
hairs
Michael
here.
in
yeah,
in Constantine,
yeah.
and
You might be splitting hairs, but yeah, I see the why.
it's just a thought. And I don't think Kate
Yeah.
Blanchett did a bad job. I just happened to like in my mind, my brain switched their faces,
Mm-hmm.
and I went, she could have pulled it off.
As
Tim
I don't
won't
think the
know
look would have been
until
the same.
Tim
I-
won't
I
know
can't-
until Tilda wears the Catwoman suit
Yeah.
and
I
you know,
can't
stands
see her as
in
the
the bathroom
character.
or waiting for.
I would
the
have to
guy.
Yeah, I
see her
can't see
as
the
the
same suit. The
But
look would have to be a
dialogue.
lot different. Yeah, dialogue is what I'm thinking. Like, I think her delivery might have been better than Kate Blanchett's.
Ooh,
I don't know about better, but I could see it. There's something
At
that
least
Kate
better in a
brought.
different
that's what
sense.
I mean by
In a different
splitting
way.
hairs. But they're,
I don't
they're
think- yeah.
both good. But yeah,
It's
I
just a
think
fun
Jason's right.
little thing I
It's-
just thought
no, I
of.
think
I
Jason's
just,
right.
that is a
Splitting
fun
hairs.
thing to think about. Yeah, I don't
think
think
that,
one's better than the other, but that's
I think she would have been fine. I think she
Mhm.
would have been fine.
I just
don't
like
think she would've done any
after
worse. I would have
thinking
to
of
see her in the
her-
outfit though.
seeing her play Michael and Constantine is really what makes me think that maybe she could have pulled off the dialogue from.
I don't think she
from
could
this
pull
movie.
off that suit though.
No, and idea that's what I mean. Like you'd have to
She-
change that
Because
look.
Tilda doesn't
Hella.
have a feminine side to her. And I
Right.
don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Anything you ever see her in, she's never playing a female role.
a
Yeah, it's because she's built like a fucking railing.
Well, I mean, she's just
dirty.
Thin. I mean, yeah.
She's
I mean,
just
she looks like a stiff wind to knock her over most of the time.
she
from
just
what I
doesn't
can
have
tell.
a lot of. She doesn't accent her curves. If she does have curves, she never accents her curves.
I don't think
Is
she
really what it
has any,
is.
to be completely honest. But
I don't know either because we've never seen them.
yeah, I think there's a reason.
Maybe I know she has kids. I mean,
I'm not saying she isn't a woman. I'm just saying I don't think she has any curves.
I'm saying that too. Though is like she's never shown her
Right.
feminine side, and
Right.
Kate on the other hand, like she has, but you could see.
Right.
I mean, she's a fucking beanpole.
Yeah. The look, the aesthetic would have to be much different for Tilda Swinton to do it. I just like I say, in my mind, I heard the dialogue coming out with her voice. And I was like, I wonder if that would be any better.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think she could pull the dialogue off. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what was the end credit scene? We had 2 of them.
There were 2 of them. Yep. So the first one.
Jeff Goldblum, or is that?
No, that's the way end credit
That's
scene. I think.
End credit scene.
Yeah, the first one is Thor and Loki on the bridge, or like, and just looking out the window, and you have Loki going, "Do you think going back to Earth is a good idea?" He's like, "Why wouldn't it be? People love me there."
Yeah, it's like very popular.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think it's a good idea for me to go back to Earth?
Oh, no,
probably not.
Not at all. Probably not.
And then you get
Ronan.
Thanos, huh?
It is Thanos, but it's the Ronan ship.
Right. Because doesn't he take it from Ronan?
Called. Maybe. I mean, I'm assuming. But it was from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. It was the Ronan ship. It was the
because Ronan's working for Thanos, so I think he has one of his ships. So I think
but this is after Ronan's dead.
Well, I know, but I mean, I think Ronan got the ship from Thanos, is what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it's one of like Thanos's armada. Would be my guess.
Oh, calm down, anti-sci-fi guy. Spaceship fucking knowledge. Keep an inventory. Just kidding. I'm jealous of your memory. I'm sorry to lash out.
It wasn't even a memory. I was going off of what Tim said.
I know.
I think this is how it goes.
He's jealous that you knew more sci-fi things than he did by saying Armada.
I'm not a vehicle guy. I'm not totally jealous.
Armada's not even a fucking sci-fi term. That's a naval term.
Yeah, it's just
it's bigger than a fleet of ships.
Yeah.
God
Anyway.
damn it, Jason.
But it's Thanos because we get to see that later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you don't see it right now. But yeah, that basically a ship much, much larger than the ship that they're all on shows up.
Yep. My question is, on every single sci-fi film ever made in a ship, they have we do it now in submarines and shit and other ships and shit. They have a radar that says what's out there. And yet this fucking massive thing just pops up out of nowhere. Like they didn't know it was there. Like nobody warned them. Hey, there's a giant ship in front of us in space. And there's nothing else around for a bazillion light years.
Oh, yeah.
But here it is. And they're just so shocked about it. Nobody came up and said, oh, Captain. Oh, look, the ship.
That's because nobody else on that ship is a fucking navigator.
Yeah,
I like the way Thor says,
a Captain Kirk
it's just another
moment.
Spaceship. I can figure it out.
He's not actually Captain Kirk or that talented. He just had that moment, is all I was saying. That's some lazy Star Trek shit there. Just letting a fucking ultimate and ogre sneak up behind you. Yeah. Like, I would never let that happen in Elden Ring.
By the way, when Odin, because Aram's favorite scene, series scene was when Odin was talking to him during the lightning scene, right? When he was fighting Hela. Yep. When he was like, oh, the hammer, he was talking about the hammer. It's like, oh, are you the god of hammers or whatever? The hammer was a focus. My mind totally went to fucking D&D.
Yeah.
100% went to D&D. I was like, oh, it's like D&D. He's got to focus his energy, his magic.
It's a wizard focus. That's how it makes casting spells easier.
That's exactly what I said. And in my first mind, also after that, went to, oh, Doctor Strange. He mentioned, oh, Earth has wizards now. And I had a good chuckle.
Yeah.
Earth has wizards now.
And then he corrects him.
Well, I call myself the Mystic Arts, but
yeah.
That just made me think of Dave Chappelle. It's custodian dick.
Excuse me, janitor. It's custodian dick.
Yeah. That's why I laughed.
Master of the custodial arts.
Oh yeah.
And then so that was the credit scene.
Oh yeah.
The post-credit scene was much more enjoyable. It didn't leave anything to the imagination either.
Nope. It was just because it had good Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jeff Goldblum coming out of the crash ship with the crowd around him.
Yep.
No, I think this revolution's gone very well.
Back on the junkyard planet.
Yep.
He's back on Sakaar.
Yeah, I love what he says. It's like, oh, well, this revolution's going good for you. Good. Yeah, I mean, you have to have a ruler overthrow, and I think I've done my part.
Yeah, I think so. He like catch clapping. He's like, and at the end, he's like, I think it's a tie.
Yeah, I agree. That was great.
That was
wonderful. Just his dialogue, man. Mm-hmm. It's not just because it's Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. It's the dialogue that Jeff Goldblum presents.
It's Jeff
My
Goldblum,
goodness,
Jeff
my
Goldblum, and the shit
point-
out of the dialogue.
Listen to the newest podcast on Conan O'Brien.
Conan needs a friend.
Maybe that's the only one. But maybe that shit's scripted too. Who knows?
I don't
Conan
know.
is a fan of writers, but it could be Jeff Goldblum just being Jeff Goldblum. This guy is so much like that. It seems.
Well, Jeff
Have you
Goldblum
seen-
has a show on
Disney Plus.
National Geographic,
Yeah.
and it's entertaining. It's where
I've
basically
heard,
I don't
but,
remember the
yeah.
world of Jeff Goldblum. Or
Yeah.
something.
The world according to Jeff, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, according to Jeff
And-
Goldblum or something like that.
I've watched a couple episodes, and it's great. Like he just
Oh,
goes
yeah.
out in the world and talks to
And it's
people
because of
and
him, right?
interacts and-
It's
yeah,
because of
it's
him.
only
and,
because of him. I don't give a
it's-
fuck about what's going on.
and
It's
it's-
how
and the sounds he
he's
makes
doing
and his delivery in between his
Yeah.
words and how he stammers is like the most fucking smooth thing.
and it's also crazy on how much of a diva he is without
Yeah.
being a diva. He's
Well,
not.
Yeah.
You've seen I see this thing on Facebook a couple times where it's like, oh, I met Jeff Goldblum and that someone introduced me at a party and he said, oh my God, it's been so long. How have you been? And then like, he's like, I thought, that Jeff Goldblum like really like remembered me or something like that. And then he heard other people like talking to Jeff Goldblum. He kept saying, oh my God, it's been so long. How have you been? He just kept saying it to everybody.
Oh yeah. Makes everyone
Jeff
feel important.
Goldblum.
You can also hear some of that on that podcast. But no, I love that guy.
That guy. This
He's
a
Chris
national
Rock
treasure.
is just off the
Oh,
charts.
I'm looking forward to the next one shot.
He's
it's
also
It's him, I believe.
Oh yeah.
right. Yeah, it's the Daryl one. That's
Um,
right.
Team Daryl.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's also, I don't know, Jeff Goldblum's also, he's not the most like handsome man, but the older he gets, the better looking
Yeah.
he gets. Like
Yeah.
he's really aging into his appropriateness.
Yeah, he was awkward as fuck in The Fly.
Yeah. Like the younger he was in shape, right?
Yeah,
He had the
yeah.
physique. He was better in
What was the
shape.
It was
scrawny
the face.
physique?
It looks like an ostrich's face on like a fit person.
Yeah, too.
That's the
big of a-
problem.
Too big of a face. Not
Right?
even the
but
head.
now,
the face.
but the older he
Yeah.
gets, the more like, I don't know.
He's
just-
losing all the fat in the chin here is really what it is. So like his face looks more
He's
sleek.
looking delicious.
Yeah.
He's got a
like fucking
jawline
turkey.
is really what it is.
Yeah. Take
We're
that,
just like-
ladies. If you got offended earlier by these guys talking about ladies' appearances, they do the same thing for men too.
Yes.
And
We're
listen
not
to
biased.
Tim
I'll
about
talk
Ryan
shit
Reynolds.
about dogs, cats,
Oh,
men,
you
women.
wanna- you
I'll
wanna talk
bunch
about
of
Ryan
kids.
Reynolds? I'll
Give me a
talk about
second.
Ryan Reynolds.
I got Timothy Oliphant.
There's two men in my life, Jensen Ackles and Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Reynolds comes first.
In the
No,
same
Jensen
room.
Ackles hasn't anything to say about it.
Those are the two
Mm.
men in my life.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I guess that's the best way
all
to
right.
end an episode.
Right?
Tim in a hotel
Talking
room
about two
with
actors
those
who have
two.
nothing to do with this world.
We know
Right.
who comes first
Uh,
yet.
Overall, I think we've fairly said that this is a great film. We
Yeah.
all liked it. How many?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason.
That's too many. Ooh. How many oohs? No, just I'm gonna 5 out of 5 it.
The apes here.
No,
Say,
sorry.
He
I didn't
turned
mean.
into the one guy from Mr. Cotter.
I was just gonna say this movie's so good. Everything about it we just said it has me so excited for the one coming out next month. July.
Absolutely.
It's either gonna be the same format as this, or better. And even
Well-
if it is the same, because it's just another fucking ride. It seems like from the trailer, I'm gonna love it.
And from my understanding, Team W has a lot more writing involved in this one. Like he's
Okay.
credited
Does he?
in writing this script.
Well, then we're
because
fucked.
Christian Bale. I don't know if we mentioned this before, but Christian Bale, after
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the Batman
Yeah.
films, he's like, I don't want to do another Superman movie.
Oh yeah.
And
He
he's
didn't
like,
want to do
oh,
another superhero.
I
Yeah.
hated
Mhm.
donning on the outfit and taking it off and on and whatever,
Yeah.
But he's just like, he just wasn't into it. And he rejected the role when it was offered to him, but then he read the script. And he said, no, I'm on board.
It was that good.
The fact that he could write a script that got Christian Bale, who rejected it initially right away,
Mm-hmm.
to go, yeah, I'll do this. Phenomenal.
And for some reason, that's impressive to a fan like me because that guy seems stubborn as fuck.
Yeah.
in his
Yeah,
own
it
way.
seems
You know,
complicated.
if he makes a decision, he's gonna stick to it. And so to give him to change his mind is quite the accomplishment.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
feels.
for sure.
So I'm excited,
Yeah.
let alone on everything else. But this just added more
Yeah.
thing. The
So,
trailer.
guys, we got to take
could've
off work
talked a whole
again
episode
to go see Thor: Love
about
and
the
Thunder.
teaser. Yes.
Down for that,
When- does anybody remember when it comes out?
July 2nd. It's like the first week of July. Wait,
Oh,
no.
I gotta request a day off.
I gotta look it up. I shouldn't even. Yeah.
I do not.
Back to the rating thing. That's where my oohs was. Sorry to cut you off.
How many how many lost hammers,
It wasn't lost. It was broken.
broken hammers? How many pieces?
How many planets away
how
is
many
that
stars
lost
would you give
hammer?
this?
What now?
How many stars would you give this? 1 out of 5. I ain't got nothing special.
I definitely give it a 4.5 for sure. It was a delightful movie. I loved everything about it.
All right.
I don't have a bad word to say about it.
But you can't give it a 5 because that's perfection. Is that what you're saying there? That's what you said last time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll stick
5
by
out of
that
5 it.
statement.
If I'm gonna 5 out of 5 Homecoming, I'm gonna 5 out of 5 this one.
Yeah, I have to give it a 5 out of 5.
Legit.
I like this more than any other Marvel film that I've watched.
Yeah, especially up until this time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
During
Actually,
our
no.
path of rewatching.
I can be honest. Like, out of all the films that have come out that I've watched, this is still my number one.
Ooh. Let's rehash this conversation because your opinions have been changing as during your rewatch of
That's
certain
true.
films. So maybe like future films might get you. I'll have a
But
couple
this is-
options, but
this
let's
is
not
like-
waste the dialogue right now.
This is like
Or
the
conversation.
Like, I don't know.
But I hear
20th
you.
time I've watched this film. So
Yeah, I've watched this one a lot.
yep, I've watched this more than I watched Guardians, and I watched Guardians a lot.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's why I got to say this must be my number one. I just
you're right.
plus, I think Chris Hemsworth as Thor. He's just
Oh, it's
Ugh.
perfect. Yeah,
dive into that. Arr.
add him to yeah, that's all I got to say, gents.
All right. Well, that has been Thor Ragnarok, the third installment on Phase 3. 4?
We're still in phase 3.
Yeah.
Phase 3. Yes,
It's the fourth film, I think.
It's third.
third installment of Thor. Who knows?
I think it's the
Counting
third
Spider-Man?
Oh
think
yeah,
it was-
yeah.
It
Because
was
Guardians of
Iron
the
Man,
Galaxy
Civil
2.
War, Doctor Strange,
Oh, here we go.
Spider-Man. Right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking
hold
write.
on.
Don't even look it up, you son of a bitch. We're wasting the people's time. They know.
I think it's the fourth
We
film.
should be better prepared.
Spider-Man was the third.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not in the
War was
phases.
I forgot Civil War was the beginning
Yeah, it was
of
the
phase
first
The
film.
beginning. Yeah.
I
yeah.
thought it was the end of phase 2, to be completely honest,
No.
for some reason.
Yeah, it was
And
the
we-
first fucking film.
And we
It
might.
feels
yeah,
like it should have been the
we
end.
we had to branch out at Disney Plus to get Spider-Man, so it could be throwing you off.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that didn't throw me off. Like I say, it was the Civil War.
Oh,
That was the one that fucked me up.
Anyway, yeah, if you
Right.
haven't watched it, then I don't know, you fucking suck.
You
That's all I gotta
fucking
say.
suck.
You fucking suck.
It's a good
Especially
way
if you
to
judged it
crown our
and
fans.
didn't watch it. I hate you.
If you're
You're
listening to this
wrong.
and you haven't watched the movie we're talking about, eat shit.
If
Mm.
you don't want to be a part of this podcast, go away. No, I'm just kidding. Come, watch the film, enjoy the film, love the film.
Tell us how
praise
much
the
you were
film,
wrong and we were
bow
right.
down, and
Get
create
your fucking
a-
act together is what we're saying.
Yes,
Well, see you next time.
absolutely.
Bye.
Later.
Peace out. The God of Thunder. Or Sparkles.
Lord of Thunder.
Sparkle fingers.
Hurt feelings make me laugh.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to check us out. Jason, where can we be heard?
I don't know, Tim. Where can we be
Well,
heard?
let me tell you where we can be heard. You can find us on all the other platforms that you find podcasts, like iTunes and Amazon Music,
All them places you find all your favorite and popular podcasts.
Spotify.
That's where I listen to podcasts, and nowadays you can rate your podcast on there. Go ahead and give us 5 stars on Spotify or any other platform you listen to your favorite podcast on.
And Spotify.
If you want to watch us, you can find us on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, give it a share, you got a comment, all the algorithm stuff. It helps.
And if you want to comment on how bad and terrible we are doing or how ugly we look, just send us an email at bnbbanterbros@gmail.com.
And that's A-N-D, you said between the B's?
A-N-D in between the B. You can also check us out on the multiple social platforms that consume everybody's life, like the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter, the TikTokity, and the Instagrammy, including Facebook. So please come check us out. We'll catch you next time.